In this video, I'm going to be discussing what I wish I knew about being a pro athlete in 2022. So if that's something that might interest you, you're going to want to keep watching. What's up, y'all? Hi, my name is Cindy. For those of you who do not know who I am, I'm a professional track and field athlete, and I run the 100-meter hurdles for Adidas at the moment. So I made a video just like this, I think last year in 2020 timeframe, and I discussed what I wish I knew about being a professional athlete, kind of like a part one. And I wanted to make a part two because you guys really seem to enjoy that video, and as well as I know some people still have some questions. And 2022, there's a lot of differences, a lot of things that look a little different. And then I also just learned a lot more as my career continued after that video. So I want to help you guys out if you're aspiring to be a pro athlete, or you're just looking to understand more about our careers and things that we learn, then this is all for you. So if you haven't yet, definitely consider subscribing. I produce videos every week regarding track and relationships with my husband, John. So you're definitely gonna wanna tune in for some more content coming up in the future. Something that I learned this year about being a professional athlete in 2022 is that contracts and prize money and all that stuff regarding finances are just gonna look a little different. As you guys know, with the pandemic happening, things and finances and just money shortages are happening all around the world. So I know that a lot of college athletes are not getting contracts the way we used to back in the day when I was coming out of college. Even when my sister and like people who are older than me were coming out of college, like contracts just continued to decline, and the money that companies have are just lessening a little bit more. So that puts a bit more pressure on the athlete to perform better, because they are having a lot more, I guess they're being a lot more selective at the moment towards athletes, because they have to choose the best of the best to give them the money. So just to be aware of that, if you are still in high school, or you're in college looking to be a pro, just being aware that one, colleges might not have as much money, or like shoe companies might not have the contracts or the money that they had at one point. So that's something to be aware of if you're looking to enter into this career, as well as prize money in some countries are looking a bit different. So where one meet may have given you thousands and thousands of dollars to win a race, you might just get $1,000 now, or things are just changing when it comes to finances. So I would just be aware of that as you enter into your career. Things are still lucrative. You can definitely make good money as a professional athlete, but just being aware that things might look a little bit different. It might be a little bit harder. You might run faster times than people who have nice contracts, but it's just that people are lacking the finances at the moment to give you that. So just being aware that it might be a bit harder, but it's definitely still doable. It's just something to think about as you want to do this in 2022. And that's just something I'm learning too in this new year. Another thing that I learned about being a pro athlete in 2022 is that diet is everything, and it equals results. So 2021 was probably my best year in track and field, and the biggest thing for me, there was a lot of different factors that played for that, but a big thing for me, y'all, was my diet. And when I say diet, it's not just eating healthy, putting the right foods in my body, it's being intentional about what I am putting in and when I am doing that. So I started becoming a lot more focused on protein heavy diet. I didn't actually realize that I wasn't eating enough protein until I had a new coach and we kind of discussed some stuff, and I figured out that I really wasn't taking in enough protein. Like I was thinking like, oh, I had chicken breast, or I ate this or that, and I'm good. No, you're probably not eating as much protein as you should if you want to become stronger and more forceful and just see results you've never seen before. So something I did differently was when I was done with my training sessions, I ate right after, and I made sure to fuel myself with protein shakes and things that supplemented what I was eating to get more protein. So protein shakes, protein powders, protein bars. I have these G2G bars that I eat pretty much every day after training, and I'll link them down in the description below if you're interested. But that made a big difference, just getting in something quickly, because your muscles are so fatigued when you're done training. And I didn't realize this in high school or college like that. I kind of knew it, but I wasn't really serious about it. But once I became serious, not only did I get stronger, I felt a lot quicker on the track. My muscles I got a lot more fit and just looked more fit and lean. And I ran faster. Essentially, that's what we all want to do. So I became a better athlete overall when my diet was a primary focus, and when I made sure that I was taking the supplements I needed, and not just like protein supplements, but I was also taking the right vitamins and just eating the right things. So truly focusing on your diet can be the difference between you and the next person that's as good as you. Because at this level, and I say this in all my videos about being a pro athlete, at this level, people are amazing. Everybody is good. Everybody wants the top spot, and it's going to be what you're doing differently that's going to separate you from the rest. So you need to be intentional about what you're doing, and doing the right things with your nutrition can make a big difference. Another thing that I learned about being a pro athlete this year was that travel is starting to look a bit different. So if you're just entering in, or you're looking to enter into this career path, just be aware that when you travel, things are gonna look different. You're gonna have a lot of paperwork to fill out. You're probably gonna be social distancing with people at certain times, and things might just not look the same. For you, if this is something you're not used to, it might just look, that's your normal. So it might you might not notice it as much as somebody like me who came in with a different experience. But I will say you're gonna have a lot of paperwork because you're going to different countries all the time. You're gonna have different requirements of what you need to do for that country. So you're showing them paperwork and doing all that stuff, as well as the time frame that you're in that country. So some countries just don't want athletes and people coming in too often right now with everything going on. So you're gonna be in and out. And it's really, before it used to feel like that, but now even more so. So you might get into a place the day before because they don't want you in too early, and you might be out literally 5 hours after you race. Like some days I will race at like 7 p.m. at night, and then I have to be on a bus to the airport at like 4 a.m. And it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy to think like less than 12 hours I'm out of that place. But that's how it is, and that's how it's been in the past year. If you are thinking as you're using this as a career path to go seek the world and go travel and, you know, explore, I mean, it's not what you think it is. It's not, you're not getting into it to see these countries. Like, yes, you do travel to these countries, but you're gonna see a lot of tracks. You're gonna see a lot of weight rooms. You're not really gonna see the country like that. And we're not gonna have time, or you're not gonna have time to do that just because of how everything's set up. So just be aware of that if this is something you're interested in. Yeah, we really just don't see the world the way you might see it if you're going on a vacation, for instance. Now, you can be intentional about going into that country. So I know some of my colleagues will literally say, I'm in this country for 48 hours. I'm going to spend 2 of those hours, like whether that's like at the nighttime, 2 nights before the race, whatever that is, to go look at this country. So sometimes people will go out of their own way to do that. You do that at your own risk. Sometimes people don't, like myself, I don't personally like doing too much before my races, and after the races I'm exhausted and we're out so quickly that I don't normally have enough time to do that. But I do know, like, some people will make that a priority to go see it. So I'm not saying that you cannot see like the country at all, but it's just a lot harder these days just because of how quick in and out we are, as well as, yeah, it's just not as fun because everything's closed. So even if you do go see the country, like, things are gonna be closed because of how things are. So just being aware of that before you're entering into it will make you feel a lot better just to know beforehand. Another thing that I learned in 2022 about being a pro athlete is that taking time off for your body is actually not a bad thing. So I was forced to take some time off early last year, just with some issues I was having with my body and just like normal athlete niggles and problems we have. And I was really frustrated because I had made so much progress on the track and the weight room, and I was like I was so mad that I couldn't train. I think it was like a week or 2 because my body, it literally wasn't letting me. And I was just so sad all the time thinking like, what can I do? And yes, I did things, and you can always do things like bike and abs and core and all that good stuff that can help you make up for those things. But sometimes rest is actually not bad. So after I took that time off, as frustrating as it was, I still tied my PB that year indoors. I got second at the European Championships last year, and that was off of like literally injury and then taking time off. I wasn't training like that because of my body, and I didn't know that all the work I had put in that season, early in that season, like during the preseason training, was preparing me for, you know, the time that I took off to rest my body. So just reminding yourself that you're putting in so much work that a week here and there, just because you're feeling pain. I'm not saying I feel sore today, therefore I need to take off. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if you're feeling pain, do not push past that. And it's okay to take a week, and don't feel bad about that because you can do other things that help you stay in shape. And sometimes rest is better. So resting helped my body get better so quickly that I was back on the track as if I was never gone. So sometimes rest is not the worst thing. If anything, it might even be helpful. Just be aware of that. Another thing that I learned this year was that sleep is so crucial, y'all. And I have made so many changes with how I sleep, but I made so much of an effort to sleep a lot more than I ever had been, and I didn't recognize how much of a difference it made, but I was just so much more alert. I focused a lot more. I felt myself just literally laser focused on the races I had when I slept more, because I felt well rested and my brain was functioning properly. Like, you'll be surprised, but when you are operating in a really high level of success, you are most likely fully rested. So your body is feeling great, probably in sync with your brain and just your muscles. Everything just comes together when you rest well, y'all. And something that helped me with that was getting off of my phone before I go to bed, or trying to at least, not putting my phone next to me. And I'm still working on that right now. We're in that process of not doing that, but I'm still doing it. When you travel to a different country, for instance, the time zones are different. The time changes are different. You're gonna be flying in at random times. Everything is thrown off. And the biggest thing I learned was to adjust quickly to that. You really have to try to get on their schedule. And so what helps me get on the country's schedule as quick as I can is drinking like chamomile tea and having like magnesium. So those are a couple of things that like to help me. And if you want another video about different sleep exercises and things you can do to really help you sleep better, then leave a comment down below and I can elaborate a little bit more on this topic. But sleep had made a big difference for me, y'all. And this is coming from somebody who like had a consistently good races last year. For the most part, like my season was pretty decent, and I think like the other part of that was my sleep. It actually does make a very big difference as a pro athlete, and just being intentional about that and not feeling bad that you're sleeping in sometimes. Like, if you have to sleep in a little bit more than the average person, that's okay, because this is your career. And the last thing I want to talk about today when it comes to being a pro athlete and the things that I learned from it is that you can literally do everything right and it might not work out. So just know that you can be doing all the right things, training properly, putting in all the work, and it might just not be your time. So at the end of the day, you can do what's best for you, but just being okay with you did everything you could, you can't do anything else. Like, literally don't feel bad if you know you put in the work, and sometimes somebody's just better than you that day. And that's just how it goes as a pro athlete. And you gotta be keeping it moving, and you really just need to adjust. So being okay with that and just accepting that when it's your time, it'll be your time. And that's why I don't try to get caught up in what everybody else is doing early on in the season, or what my competitors are running, or all this other stuff. I just try to stay in my lane, literally and figuratively, because it's very easy to get caught up in, well, I didn't run this, and that person did that, and why are they doing that, and training this way, and you get in a very much comparison mindset. So forcing yourself to not compare, be okay with what you're doing, and just showing up every day, doing all the right things, and typically it'll pay off. You're gonna improve in some way. I'm not saying that's gonna promise you a win by any chance, because at this level it is very difficult to win consistently. But you would definitely be proud of yourself and to be proud of the progress you make. So really be happy with those small victories, that progress you're making, because at the end of the day, you're becoming a better person, and that's what truly is, that's what it's all about, y'all. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we do this for accolades and all this stuff, but we got this gift from God for a reason, and there's reasons behind it. And if it is not, it might not be to ever, break a world record or do this or do that, but just trusting that He is going to use this career for you in a good way. So trusting that and believing that it's going to all be okay at the end of the day, and there's so many lessons to be learned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't seen the part 1 to this, I will attach it up here and you guys can go back and watch it. But yes, I have lots of videos similar to this, so go back, watch those playlists of things that might help you if you're in this position where I was 7 years ago, 10 years ago. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe if you want more in the future, and comment down below something you want to see from me, or something that resonated with you in this video. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.